It's a nice one. Big car. So that's all kind of car brands I never heard about. Like this Baresios. Hispano. There's some aircraft engine called Hispano. They have in Spain. They're making in the First World War. They're making a large piston engines for all kinds of aircraft in the World War One. After World War One, they make some big engines because I know that I was reading about engines. So Spain has one of the largest automotive industry in the whole world, number 9, and second in the European Union after Germany. So that's and 20% of all exports from Spain is automotive industry. But when you think of Spain, you're not thinking of the country like automotive, like car plant country like Germany. I think most people know Germany makes car, but do not really think about Spain making cars too. Then we have Sweden next to my country. Sweden, we have the Saab and Volvo. The Saab is not in production anymore. But the Volvo, but I think the Chinese did buy Volvo many years ago, and they're making Scania trucks, called semi trucks in Europe. The automotive industry in Sweden are mainly associated with passengers car manufacturers like Volvo cars, Saab automobile. But the Saab automobile is not anymore that close. Volvo cars, I think some Chinese company did buy Volvo cars. Apparently this Greeley holding is a Chinese, this Greeley holding I have opened somewhere else. They have this car brand in China called Greeley. Greeley have this Greeley motor. They're making electric cars. They're making refrigerators. I never read about refrigerators. Could read about that for fun one day. Everyone have a refrigerator in their home. So we can read about how it's working. And history of the refrigerator. We can do that just for fun, why not? So I have all this Chinese car brand I have opened somewhere else. This Greeley Auto is a Chinese, it's a private owned, it's not a state owned. Some of the, like the BRD, Build Your Own Dream, BRD, Chinese BRD and Greeley, that's private owned, there's stock companies, but some of the Chinese brands are state owned. So they're making some nice electric cars like the BRD that this Greeley Automobile holding. But let's make cars. That's not a new. They make cars more than 20 years. But we are in year 2025 today. Have a lot of assembly plants, and the Chinese, they're very good to building all kind of stuff. They have thousands of factories, tens of thousands of factories in China doing all kind of stuff. They have a very large industry in China doing all kind of parts, electronics, list of greedy vehicles. So they're making a nice one, but then that's name you can never. Some they're not selling in Europe. Greely exingui. You cannot say that. But that look very nice. That's not electric. That's petrol. So look at this later. So Volvo Cars is owned by this Chinese Greely holding, but they're still making Volvo. They're still making the Volvo brands. They're making some good cars. So that's this one, the Volvo 850. That's some you can buy very cheap. You can get it very cheap, like $2,000. Oh, that's very fast car. This Volvo S200 S80. That's have a big, I think it's a V6 engine. So they're making this XC90. That's a big luxury car. It's a big luxury XC90. So, but need to get forward. So the Volvo is a very famous. How many in my country did use Volvo? That's the Volvo Amazon. That's some people are collecting the classic cars. They're collecting this Volvo Amazon. Volvo Amazon. But that was when I was a teenager. I think they were still driving on the streets in the 1980s. So the people were driving this Volvo Amazon on the streets in Denmark in the early 1980s. But I was in the 70s when I was a boy, 10 years old. That car like this was driving on the streets. But I really not know, because I not remember much. Because that's 50 years ago. So they have many Volvo models. So we're going to read about Volvo later. List of Volvo car production plants. Got in Sweden, Belgium, China, Malaysia, India. List of Volvo engines. So we're reading about Volvo car brand later. So they're still making cars in Sweden. How many? I don't know. That's old Volvo. Look like a horse wagon, but I did that before year 2000 and 1910, like 1890 and 1910. The cars look like horse wagons with an engine on. But from 910 to 20, that starts to look more than like a car. That's many in my country did use this car. This could still buy it, but this is a classic car today. This is a classic car. And the Scania truck, I was driving this Euro Truck Simulator, but now I drive American Truck Simulator. That's some supercar for super rich people with too much money. So Sweden have an automotive industry, the Volvo brand, but they not mention Norway. But Norway, they don't have Ukraine. Ukraine have a car brand. Or Ukraine. But now we have this war in Ukraine. The last 3.5 years. Bogdan. So they have this ZZ, this car brand called ZZ. All kind of stuff. But now we have this war in Ukraine. I could not pronounce. They have some weird names like this. Loose S. Bogdan. They have a car brand called Bogdan Group. Bogdan Corporation is a leading Ukrainian automobile manufacturer group, including cars. The Bogdan Group is like Stellantis. It owns different kind of car brands in Ukraine. Now the page is white, so that's not so important. We don't need to look at that. Bogdan Corporation, so they own all kind of car brands. Bogdan. It looks a little bit weird. So we're going to look at this, read later. And of course they're making military cars for the war now. And buses. And they make this name I cannot pronounce it. Kremenchuk automobile plant. Trucks. Kratz trucks. And for the military, like this. So Ukraine make cars, but now we have this war in Ukraine soon, 4 years. United Kingdom is an old automotive country. They have a long history. Have a 100 years old history, making all kind of car brands. You never heard about Rolls-Royce, of course. So, but I don't need to read about Rolls-Royce because I'm never going to own a car like this. Aston Martin, McLaren, Bentley, Rolls-Royce, Jaguar, Land Rover, the Mini, Lotus, MG cars, Vauxhall, that was this Stellantis. Stellantis owned this Vauxhall. So in 2018, the UK automotive manufacturing sectors, 82 billion euros, 1.5 million. So the United Kingdom is very large. United States. But they're not on the list. United Kingdom. Oh, number 9, like 1 million. Number 19. So that's one of the largest in the world. Number 19 in the world. So we're going to read about this later. Daimler. So cars before year 1900 looks funny, like cartoon cars, like a Donald Duck cars. Look like horse wagons with engine on. Rolls-Royce. And the Land Rover is very famous, but there's many collect this. The Land Rovers. Jaguar and the Mini called the doghouse, small doghouse microcar. But that's a nice car. That's still a mega mini car. And Jaguar. Morgan cars. Range Rovers. Lotus. McLaren F1. Why you should buy Bentley? But some people have many hundreds of millions that just buy this luxury car just for fun, because they have many hundreds of millions. Some have billions, some have many billions of many thousand millions Danish kroners. They have many millions of dollars. No, thousand million dollars is like 1 billion, but not many have 1 billion. But some people have like $100 million. Like that's 700 million my country. Some people own more than $100 million. Range Rovers, that's a luxury car for rich people. Lotus, so there are a lot of currently operating assembly plants, so they have a lot of assembly plants. Brand Aston Martin, all kind Jaguar, Mini, Nissan, Toyota, Rolls-Royce, Vauxhall, so I'm going to read about this. I think we did finish Europe. We did, so let's stop now, take a break. Because next is normally because it's 8 p.m. So let's close and go to bed. So we need North Europe, like Canada, United States. Let's try to do it tomorrow, because I've made a lot of videos the last many days. I've been talking about. Let's eat a bit more bread. So the housing prices is super high in many places in Europe and everywhere. So normal people with normal income, they cannot buy a house or apartment, but they can buy a car. They can own a car. And actually some people that need to sleep in their cars because they cannot afford to pay this high rent like in the United States. Apartment like mine can cost like more than $2,000, small 2-room apartment. So how many hundreds of thousands in the United States they are sleeping in the auto campers, the cars. They're using these cars as a shelter. But the American cars, they're much larger. American cars are much larger than Europe. So that's why I need to get a driver license, because then I can buy a station wagon. I can buy a large station wagon. I can have a bed beside my car. I can sleep in an emergency if I'm losing my home. try finish tomorrow.